A pure physical size right now, your baby is roughly the size of a raspberry. But do not let that tiny, unassuming little berry size fool you. Because while your belly might not look pregnant to the outside world just yet, inside your uterus, oh, it is a full-speed construction zone. The embryo is growing at an incredibly rapid pace, and major organs and body systems are actively developing as we speak.
To put this into perspective, at 8 weeks, the embryo is only around 1.5 centimeters long. Measurements can vary a little bit, of course, but just picture something that incredibly small. It's tiny. Yet we are right smack in the middle of one of the fastest, most absolutely critical periods of development in the entire pregnancy.
Section 1. Brain and nervous system boom.
Okay, let's dive into this. It is honestly mind-blowing just how complex a 1.5 centimeter embryo actually is. At 8 weeks, the brain and nervous system are booming. They are developing incredibly fast. We're actually seeing different regions of the brain becoming much more defined. The spinal cord? That's continuing its rapid development too. Basically, your baby is building the literal communication system that's eventually going to control movement, sensation, thinking, breathing, the whole shebang. Just take a second to really think about that. This entire operating system is being set up inside a body the size of a raspberry. Human development is just wild.
Section 2. Heartbeats and ultrasound realities.
So the early heart structure has been developing over the past few weeks, and by this stage, cardiac activity is very often detectable on an ultrasound, depending, of course, on the pregnancy and the specific equipment being used. But listen, please pay close attention to this next point. An ultrasound isn't always the same for everyone. If you go in for a scan at 8 weeks and the result isn't exactly what you expected, take a deep breath. Do not immediately assume something is wrong. Pregnancy dating can easily be off. A lot of dating assumes ovulation happens exactly on day 14 of a cycle, but we know for a fact ovulation doesn't always happen on day 14. Development timelines can and do vary. If things aren't perfectly clear, your healthcare provider might just recommend another ultrasound when more information is available.
Section 3. Taking a human shape. Now, this is where things get really visually interesting. The tiny little structures that are eventually going to become your baby's arms and legs, they are rapidly developing right now. The hands and feet are actually starting to take shape. And it's not just the limbs. Facial structures are forming too. This includes the very early foundations that will eventually become the eyes, the ears, the nose, and the mouth. So your baby isn't just growing slightly bigger. Your baby is actively becoming far more recognizable as a little human.
But all right, enough about the micro marvel for a second. We really need to talk about the macro mama. We need to talk about the person who is probably suffering through all this rapid internal construction. You. Why do you feel so terrible right now?
It is kind of a cruel irony of the first trimester, isn't it? Your baby is literally smaller than a strawberry, yet you are likely completely exhausted, intensely nauseous, and just generally uncomfortable. At 8 weeks, a whole host of symptoms become super common. We're talking nausea, vomiting, profound exhaustion, breast tenderness, bloating, and needing to pee all the time. The main culprit here? Hormonal changes. Specifically, your rapidly rising pregnancy hormones are driving this massive construction project, but they're also heavily contributing to all of these draining physical symptoms. So yes, it is entirely valid that you feel utterly wiped out by a strawberry-sized baby. And of course, we absolutely cannot talk about 8-week symptoms without bringing up the dreaded food aversions. Suddenly, foods you used to love are your absolute worst enemy. As our source material so perfectly puts it, at this stage, the smell of chicken can make you question every decision you've ever made. It's so true. The suddenness and the sheer intensity of these aversions are completely normal, and yep, they are driven by those exact same hormonal shifts.
Section 4. Surviving Week 8 Symptoms.
Now, pregnancy symptoms can be deeply uncomfortable, but you do not have to suffer in silence. And it's really important to know that not every symptom is normal. If you experience heavy bleeding, severe abdominal or pelvic pain, fainting, or severe dizziness, you need to contact your healthcare provider promptly or seek urgent medical attention. Furthermore, if you're struggling with severe vomiting, like to the point where you literally cannot keep any fluids down, you absolutely must speak with your healthcare provider. Your safety and your hydration are absolutely critical.
Section 5. The Pregnancy Comparison Trap.
This next point is something so many women silently worry about, so please listen closely. You don't have to feel pregnant every single day.
It is so incredibly easy to scroll through social media and convince yourself you're supposed to be throwing up every single morning or totally exhausted every afternoon. But the truth is, every single pregnancy is entirely unique.
Some women have intensely debilitating symptoms, others have very mild symptoms, and some women barely have any symptoms at all. On top of that, your symptoms can fluctuate and change from one day to the next. So please, whatever you do not compare your pregnancy to another woman's pregnancy. Your body is handling the hormone response exactly the way it needs to.
So let's wrap up all the amazing facts we've covered in this explainer today. At 8 weeks, your baby may be tiny, we're talking barely 1.5 centimeters, but the internal transformation happening inside you is absolutely huge. The brain and nervous system are booming. The early limbs and facial structures are taking shape,